So democratizing AI then is another area that I think we need to pay attention to, because we want the AI tools to be accessible, and we want them to be accessible to all, not just a group of people that's sitting over here. And so that's a tough issue to address, but that's going to help build that culture that we're talking about. So when you mentioned culture earlier and working that culture and dealing with the culture dynamics, I think that one thing we have to think about is, what does democratizing AI really mean? And what does it mean to make it accessible to all? Because it's not good enough to just say, okay, the tool is available. That's not good enough, right? So we got to make sure that it's accessible to all, that is understandable. Maybe they look at what are the proper tools? How do we assess the tools? How do we go about guiding people on how to use the tools? So that's something that I think effective governance needs to start to pay attention to, and also look at the different generations. I'm not sure we're looking at the generation. So I had a situation a couple weeks ago, and it's a client, and they wanted to use the tool that they're using, and they said AI keeps popping up. And I was like, how do you know that it's AI? Well, it just keeps popping up on my phone. And I was like, okay. She's like, can you help me with this? Because I don't have time to deal with it right now, because I'm just trying to send a message to somebody, and so and clearly it was someone that wasn't familiar with how to use some of the other capabilities, but she knew it was an AI chatbot. That's what it was, no doubt. And so she was like, I don't want to use it. I don't want to use it. And so I think there needs to be more attention paid to all generations. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that's absolutely right. And I'm going to sort of distill this down with any tool, and in particular AI. So let's talk organizationally first, and then let's talk personally. You have to do the training, and having delivered that training, and I'm confident, Pamela, you've delivered that training. People are like, I don't want to take the training, just let me dive in. And for those folks that took the time to do the training, and we would try to provide sort of entry level, maybe we'll call it the college level, the 101, up to the graduate degrees of training for various types of tool. And we would do it in person, and you can do the on-demand videos. Training is so key with AI. To your point, one is so people recognize, if you've allowed this to be in your everyday usage, well, let's say in the email system, so that people understand what's happening. Or to your point, it's what is going on here, and what's going to happen out of it. And so this is where training becomes really critical. And that way people know how best to use it. They understand that they are training it, and you can cordon it off in your organization. So you're just training the model that you're using in your organization,
Right.
not the global one, we'll call it that. So that's one side of it, is education and training. Well, it's much easier to speak about and attempt to deliver in an organization than it is in our personal lives. We know across the globe there is a difference of access to the internet. And that difference in the internet access is a difference of understanding what's going on with AI. I'm just going to stay focused on that. And so if you come into contact with AI for the first time, and you've not been able to do some reading on it or watch videos on it or anything, on the personal side, it could be frightening for some, and it'll be energizing for others.
Yeah.
And out in our regular everyday lives, this is harder. This is harder to get the training. And if you rely on the news, you're going to see that it's only, depending on your news source, there's the one that's writing fear, fear, fear. And then there's always a set of people that are in the media that are writing, this is great, this is great. Well, it's really somewhere in between.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for your listeners, we just really implore them that they may be the ones, your listeners, do the research, but implore them to spread the word and share with others to say, please do your research, or you be an advocate for that